In the last video, we talked about advanced list manipulation methods, and we're going to extend that even more so that we can have other tools to work with by talking about the built-in list functions we can use. More specifically, the built-in functions we're going to look at are the min, max, sum, and length methods. So let's dive right in. Let's investigate the different behaviors of the four built-in Python functions, min, max, sum, and length. They are built-in because they are meant to be generic and work with multiple types. Not necessarily lists, but we will find that often they are used mostly for lists. So here I have numbers and hello world. We're going to investigate how these functions work with those. So if I print min of numbers, this will look inside this list and try to find the minimum value. If I run this, we get -5. Notice I did not do numbers dot min. This would be what we call a method on numbers, while a function takes numbers as an argument instead. Max does the same thing, except it finds the maximum number, which in our case is 10,000. Now, sum will sum up the elements in our list, which gives us 10,025.14. And length is a particularly useful one. It just gives us whatever the length of the list is, which in our case is 5. And length is not 0-based, it's 1-based. However, we usually prefer this anyways. So now we've seen how these four functions work with numbers, but how do they work with a string? So let's print what max of hello world is. If I run this, we get R. Why did we get R? If we were to sort the characters in this list, it would first start by sorting by the capital letters, and then it would sort the lowercase letters. And in that sense, max would just be the last element of the sorted list, which would be R. And min is the opposite. It gets the minimum value. So this one should be an uppercase character. And indeed it is. It is capital H. Now, does it make sense to add up characters? Not really, but let's see what Python does. And it says we have an unsupported type. So this is not available for strings. However, we should be able to get the length of the string. And indeed, we are able to get the length of the string, which is very nice. So strings implement the length function, so we can get their length, and so do lists. And later on, we might see that there are other types, such as sets and dictionaries, which also support the length, min, max, and sum functions. So we are not limited to lists particularly. In this video, we talked about the collection of Python built-in methods to get information about the lists we're working with. In the next video, we're going to start talking about 2D arrays or 2D matrices and array references.